The story begins in a magical world called Eternia, where gigantic dragons, talking tigers, mysterious forests, and floating islands fill the skies. In the capital city of Eternos stands Castle Grayskull, where a mysterious sword infused with the limitless power of the gods is kept under heavy protection. Legend says that whenever the greatest threat rises against this world, a true hero will lift this very sword and become its ultimate protector. Until that destined day arrives, the sacred weapon is guarded by a mysterious sorceress and a group of fearless warriors. Meanwhile, Prince Adam of Eternia enjoys spending time with his talking tiger Cringer far more than training for war. His mother, Queen Marlena, hopes he will one day grow into a strong and responsible king. Elsewhere, Duncan is training a new generation of warriors, with both Adam and his adopted daughter Tila taking part in the exercises. During the training, almost everyone performs well, but Adam repeatedly fails to prove himself. Seeing his frustration, Tila encourages him and steps forward to help him improve. At that very moment, King Randor arrives at the training grounds. Watching his son's carelessness instantly fills him with anger. He challenges Adam himself and knocks him to the ground within just a few seconds. Before walking away, he coldly reminds him that this world was never meant for the weak. After the king leaves, Duncan explains to Adam that falling is never defeat because true strength comes from standing back up every single time. He tells him to remain standing, hoping the king might turn around for one last look. But the king never looks back even once. Adam stands there in disappointment until Tila walks over and lifts his spirits once again. Just then, both of them notice the sorceress anxiously staring toward the sky. In the very next moment, the heavens are covered by enormous enemy warships. Skeletor's army launches a full-scale invasion of Eternia. Chaos spreads across the kingdom as every warrior rushes to defend the city. Adam and Tila immediately race toward their family. Duncan promises the king that he will get everyone to safety, but before they can escape, the enemy blocks their path. Duncan faces the entire army alone and fights with incredible courage, clearing a path for everyone to move forward safely. A short distance later, another squad of enemies blocks their path, but Duncan once again defeats them all by himself. Just then, the deadliest warrior, Trapjaw, steps onto the battlefield. Duncan orders everyone else to keep moving while he stays behind to face him alone. A fierce battle immediately erupts between the two warriors. Trapjaw keeps switching weapons with every attack, while Tila, worried about her father, turns back to help him. Fighting with everything he has, Duncan slams Trapjaw into a massive wall and is just about to finish him off, but at the very last second, Trapjaw transforms his arm into a powerful cannon and launches a devastating blast. Before retreating, he secretly plants a bomb behind him. The moment Duncan notices it, he grabs Tila and leaps away from the explosion. A massive blast erupts just a second later, shaking everything around them. Elsewhere, King Randor is leading his family to safety when Skeletor's army suddenly surrounds them from every side. Moments later, Skeletor himself steps forward to confront the king. Randor orders his family to run while he stays behind to face the enemy alone. He fights with incredible bravery, but in the end, he is finally defeated. Skeletor shatters the symbol of his honor and even tears the royal crown from his head. Just then, his most trusted ally, Evelyn, arrives and begins celebrating his victory. Meanwhile, Queen Marlena brings Adam to the safety of Castle Grayskull. The sorceress tells him that he must lift the sacred sword. The moment Adam takes the sword into his hands, the sorceress reveals that he must be sent far away from this world immediately. Queen Marlena decides that Earth will be the safest place for him to survive. The sorceress opens a magical portal, but at that exact moment, Skeletor storms into the castle. The queen tries to stop him, but Skeletor throws her aside with a single devastating strike. The sorceress tells Adam never to lose this sword because one day it will be the key that brings him back home. After saying those words, she transforms into a gigantic bird and blocks Skeletor's path. Amid the chaos, Adam jumps straight into the portal, but during the journey, the magical sword slips from his hand. When he finally opens his eyes, he finds himself standing in the middle of a lake on Earth. In that single moment, he becomes separated from his home forever. Many years pass, and a grown-up Adam is now telling his entire story to his date, but she dismisses it as nothing more than a made-up fantasy before walking away. Adam tries to stop her and explains that he is truly searching for his lost sword because it is the only thing that can lead him back to his real home. But no one is willing to believe a single word he says. After returning home, he meets his roommate Hussein, who jokes about yet another failed date. He reminds Adam that his therapist believes these stories are simply his way of coping with the pain of losing his parents. But Adam knows that his world and everything from his past are completely real. The walls of his room are covered with drawings of that forgotten world, which everyone laughs at, yet he still refuses to give up hope. The next morning, Adam heads to work as usual. From the outside, he looks like an ordinary office employee, but his mind remains completely focused on finding the lost sword. After work, he meets a strong man at the gym who encourages him never to give up. Those simple words ignite a new spark of hope inside Adam once again. He has already posted a reward, hoping someone will help him find the missing sword. But at the office, his boss catches him, ignoring his work while chasing that same obsession, and gives him one final warning that he will lose his job if it happens again. Just then, a message appears on his phone. Someone claims to have the very sword he has been searching for, but demands $300 in return. The moment Adam reads it, he forgets everything else and rushes out of the office without wasting another second. Sometime later, Adam arrives at a comic book store, believing that he is finally about to recover his lost sword. But the sword he paid for turns out to be nothing more than part of a decorative display. Even then, Adam refuses to give up. With all his strength, he pulls the sword free and raises it before everyone, hoping to awaken his forgotten power once again. He is completely convinced that a miracle is about to happen, but nothing happens at all. Everyone inside the store bursts into laughter, and Adam quietly walks away in disappointment. The very next morning, the police arrest him on charges of theft, but while they are transporting him, the entire city is suddenly thrown into panic. A terrifying monster named Beastman attacks the police vehicle without warning. He has only one target, Adam and the sword in his possession. Adam somehow escapes from the vehicle and tries to run, but Beastman quickly catches up to him. Just before it is too late, a mysterious warrior appears and saves his life. A fierce battle breaks out, and the warrior sends Beastman crashing off the bridge below. When Adam finally sees the warrior's face, he is left completely stunned. It is none other than a grown-up Teela, but Beastman has no intention of giving up so easily. He returns once again and launches another brutal attack. Teela somehow manages to escape with Adam before he can catch them. After finding a place to hide, Teela explains that the moment Adam lifted the magical sword, its energy spread across all of Eternia. That is why Beastman came to reclaim it. She then asks why it took him so many years to find the sword. Embarrassed, Adam admits that he was the one who lost it in the first place. Just then, Beastman begins hunting them down once again. The two run for their lives, leap off a bridge, and barely survive the desperate escape. At last, a speeding truck crashes straight into Beastman, giving them the chance to get away. They reach a hidden park where Teela has concealed her secret spacecraft. As they climb aboard, Adam smiles and says that he had always told people this world was real, but no one ever believed him. Meanwhile, Beastman is rapidly closing in on their location. Without wasting another second, they activate a portal and finally return to Eternia. During the journey, Adam says in surprise that Teela is nothing like the person she used to be. With sadness in her voice, Teela replies that everything changed after that single attack. When Adam asks about his old friends, Teela reveals that after that terrible night, no one ever learned what happened to any of them. Sometime later, the two finally arrive in Eternia, but the sight before them leaves Adam completely speechless. The once glorious kingdom has now been reduced to nothing but ruins. Teela warns him that staying there is far too dangerous because the enemy already knows they have returned. Meanwhile, Triclops tracks their ship and successfully pinpoints their location. Elsewhere, Skeletor sits upon his throne. Beastman apologizes for failing his mission, but Skeletor humiliates him without showing any mercy. Just then, Evelyn reports that a new ship has landed in Eternia. The moment he hears this, Skeletor orders her to capture whoever arrived without delay. Surprised, Evelyn asks why he is still so obsessed with that sword after already conquering the entire kingdom. In a cold voice, Skeletor replies that the very same sword has the power to strip away everything he possesses in a single moment, which is why he must claim it at any cost. Meanwhile, Teela brings Adam to the hidden base where the remaining royal soldiers have taken refuge, but the moment they arrive, Triclops also tracks them down. Fisto questions Teela about where she disappeared instead of staying at her post. In response, Teela reveals that she has found the magical sword along with the long-lost Prince Adam. Hearing this, no one present can believe what she is saying. When they demand proof, Adam reveals his true identity. He then recognizes each of his old companions one by one and reminds them of the memories they shared as children. His words ease the tension in the room, but even then, no one fully trusts him. As a precaution, the soldiers take the magical sword into their custody and decide that its authenticity must be verified first. After that, Dayon locks Teela and Adam inside a prison cell. Inside, they find a drunken man and a small service robot. At first, Adam mistakes it for a combat robot, but Teela quickly tells him the truth. Just then, the entire base is shaken as the emergency alarm begins blaring through every corridor. The enemy has already launched a full-scale attack outside. Teela tries to break the cell door open, but fails. That is when Adam asks the little robot if it wants to become a real hero. In the very next moment, the robot throws away its mop and smashes the cell door open with a single powerful strike. They soon realize that the drunken man is none other than Duncan. Adam is overwhelmed with emotion the moment he sees him. Duncan recognizes Adam as well, but after everything he has been through, he refuses to come with them. In the end, the little robot drags him outside anyway. While escaping, they run into Ram Man. During the chaos, Adam sees Skeletor standing before him with his own eyes for the very first time. Ram Man returns the magical sword to Adam and stays behind to hold the enemy back. Meanwhile, the others flee until they reach a dead end. From above, Triclops keeps attacking them without stopping, forcing everyone to jump down just to survive. They finally reach a ship only to find Trapjaw already waiting there with his soldiers. Adam believes this time the situation can be resolved through words instead of violence. Using the communication skills he learned from working in human resources, he tries to reason with Trapjaw. For a brief moment, it actually seems like his plan might work, but the very next second, Trapjaw charges straight at him. Adam fights back with everything he has, but he is no match for Trapjaw. At that critical moment, Teela shouts at him to use the magical sword. The instant Adam raises the blade, he hears the sorceress's voice echoing in his mind. He speaks the same sacred words she once taught him. In the next instant, a massive bolt of lightning crashes down from the sky, transforming Adam into a mighty warrior. Divine armor covers his body, and his strength multiplies beyond imagination. The entire battle changes in an instant. Adam easily blocks every attack from Trapjaw and even shatters his weapon. The remaining soldiers rush in as well, but they are no match for him either. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Teela secures the sword, and everyone boards the ship before escaping. But from a distance, Skeletor watches everything unfold. Without wasting a moment, he sends his entire army after them, and a deadly chase across the skies begins. Duncan wants to take control of flying the ship, but Teela refuses to let him. He then tells Adam that if he truly possesses such incredible power, he should go outside and hold the enemies back. Adam climbs onto a sky sled for the very first time. At first, he can barely control it, but little by little he learns how to fly it properly. Meanwhile, the enemy's relentless attacks leave their ship badly damaged. During the battle, Adam is thrown high into the air and begins falling toward the ground. He reaches for his sky sled, but it crashes into an enemy ship and shatters into pieces. The very next moment, Adam lands directly on an enemy aircraft, throws its pilot overboard, and takes control of it himself. Just then, another enemy attacks from behind, but this time Adam uses his newfound strength to stop the incoming ship with his bare hands before hurling it far away. Eventually, their ship crashes deep inside a dense forest. Elsewhere, Skeletor demands that his prisoners reveal the identity of the mysterious warrior carrying the magical sword. When no one answers, he begins terrifying them with his overwhelming power. At last, Fisto is forced to reveal the truth that the warrior is none other than King Randor's long-lost son, Adam. Hearing this, Skeletor smiles and orders all the prisoners to be thrown back into their cells. Meanwhile, in the forest, Teela finally finds Adam. At the same time, Duncan discovers his old armor and prepares to become a warrior once again. Near his sword, Adam notices a mysterious bird. He becomes convinced that it is the sorceress herself, but Teela refuses to believe him. When they return, they find Duncan standing proudly in his old armor once again. Soon after, an argument breaks out between father and daughter over Duncan's drinking habit, and an upset Teela storms away. Duncan tells Adam that Teela is still carrying deep emotional pain and encourages him to speak with her honestly. Adam goes to find her, and together they begin unloading supplies from the damaged ship. During the process, Adam casually holds up the heavy ship with one hand, leaving even Teela completely astonished. The mood becomes lighter, and Teela smiles as she admits that she truly missed him. Adam misunderstands what she means, but Teela quickly makes it clear that she has always seen him only as her closest friend. Hearing that, Adam feels a bit embarrassed. Suddenly, the sky is covered with dark clouds, and Skeletor appears before them. He reveals that Adam's parents are still alive. If Adam wants to see them again, he must come to Snake Mountain. After delivering the message, Skeletor disappears without another word. Adam immediately decides to go there without hesitation. Teela warns him that it is obviously a trap, but Adam refuses to lose the chance to save his parents. Duncan is the first to step forward and stand beside him. One by one, the rest of the team joins as well, and together they set out for Snake Mountain. After a long journey, the entire team finally arrives at Snake Mountain. There, Goatman blocks their path and demands the magical sword, but Adam firmly refuses to hand it over. Just then, Evil Lynn arrives with her army. She orders all of Adam's companions to be captured, while Adam himself is taken straight before Skeletor. The moment Adam stands face to face with Skeletor, he immediately draws his sword and prepares to fight. But in the very next second, his eyes fall upon his father, King Randor, who is still being held captive. Seeing his father alive overwhelms Adam with emotion, and he warns Skeletor to release him at once. But Skeletor has entirely different plans. One by one, his most powerful warriors step onto the battlefield. battlefield. The ordinary soldiers attack first, and Adam defeats them with ease. But when all the deadly champions charge at him together, the battle becomes far more difficult. His magical sword is knocked from his hand, yet he refuses to surrender. Even without a weapon, he keeps forcing the enemies back with sheer determination. Watching his son's courage fills King Randor's eyes with tears. Adam tries to reach his sword once again, but the enemy blocks his path. Several warriors try to overpower him together, but he unleashes all his strength and throws them all aside. One after another, he defeats nearly every powerful warrior and is finally about to reach Skeletor himself. Just then, Evil Lyn stops him with her magic, mocking him. Skeletor asks whether he can bear watching his own father die before his eyes. Blinded by rage, Adam swings his sword with all his might, but the attack misses its target. The blade crashes into the wall, causing enormous rocks above to collapse directly onto King Randor. Adam rushes over and pulls his father from beneath the rubble. With his final breaths, King Randor smiles and tells Adam that he never wanted to change who his son was. He only wanted him to become strong enough to survive in such a harsh world. Hearing those words brings tears to Adam's eyes. A few moments later, King Randor says his final goodbye forever. Crushed by the pain of losing his father, Adam is left completely broken. Seizing the opportunity, Skeletor strikes him from behind and knocks him unconscious. When Adam finally wakes up, he finds himself locked inside a prison cell with all of his divine power gone. Moments later, his mother, Queen Marlena, arrives and embraces him tightly. After finally being reunited with his mother after so many years, only to lose his father in the very same moment, Adam can no longer hold back his tears. Meanwhile, Skeletor finally gets his hands on the magical sword. He speaks the sacred words with all his might, hoping to awaken its power, but nothing happens. Evil Lyn mocks him, saying that simply speaking the words is clearly not enough. Even after several attempts, the sword remains completely silent. Furious, Skeletor grabs her by the throat. Evil Lyn then reveals that the sword's true power can only be awakened through a special ritual inside Castle Grayskull. The moment he hears this, Skeletor decides to head there immediately. Meanwhile, sitting inside his prison cell, Adam is completely shattered by the grief of losing his father. Just then, Duncan comes to see him. He reminds Adam that defeat is never the end of the journey. Adam repeats the very lesson he learned as a child, saying that every fall is simply another chance to rise again. Duncan smiles and replies, "Then it's time for you to stand back up." Just then, Teela arrives and tells Adam that someone has come to see him. As soon as he steps outside, Adam sees his old companion Cringer, who has now grown much bigger. Their reunion is filled with emotion. After that, Adam gathers all of his companions and tells them that alone, they may not be able to accomplish anything, but together they can certainly defeat Skeletor. He reminds every one of them that they are the true heroes of Eternia. Hearing his words fills everyone with the courage to fight once again. Now their greatest challenge is escaping from the prison. Meanwhile, Skeletor reaches Castle Grayskull and orders his army to eliminate anyone who comes anywhere near the fortress. Back at the prison, Adam asks Duncan to reactivate Roboto. Before long, Roboto is brought back online once again. Together, they smash through the massive prison gate and defeat the guards before making their escape. Soon afterward, the entire team boards their ship and flies toward Castle Grayskull. Along the way, the remaining warriors of Eternia also join the battle against the enemy. The moment Trapjaw spots them approaching, he orders his forces to launch a full-scale attack. Duncan tells the others to keep moving forward while he handles the enemy on his own. Teela becomes emotional as she looks at her father. Duncan embraces her tightly, and Adam quietly joins them in that heartfelt moment. Afterward, everyone heads off to complete their own mission. Only Cringer still looks nervous because he has no armor to protect himself. Smiling, Adam tells him that true courage comes from the heart, not from armor. Hearing those words from his closest friend drives away Cringer's fear, and he stands ready to face the final battle with complete confidence. Meanwhile, the warriors of Eternia risk their lives to hold the enemy forces back. At the same time, Skeletor, Evil Lyn, and Beastman make their way inside Castle Grayskull. To begin the ritual, Skeletor places the magical sword back in its rightful position. Just then, Adam, Teela, and Cringer also enter the castle. Adam rushes straight toward the sword while Teela takes on Evil Lyn and Cringer charges at Beastman. Inside the castle, a fierce battle erupts between Teela and Evil Lyn. Evil Lyn unleashes one magical attack after another, but Teela stands her ground without taking a single step back. On the other side, Cringer fights with all his courage to keep Beastman occupied, giving Adam the chance to reach reach the sword. Outside, Duncan and Roboto are battling the enemy's entire army, but more and more enemies continue pouring into the battlefield. Realizing the situation is getting worse, Duncan orders Roboto to bring down the giant statue standing nearby. In the very next moment, the enormous statue crashes onto the bridge, blocking the enemy's advance for a while. The two exchange relieved smiles, but just then, Trapjaw launches a sudden attack with his warship. Duncan and Roboto try to protect themselves, but Trapjaw's assault sends Roboto flying across the battlefield. Seeing his companion badly injured fills Duncan with rage. Without wasting a second, he leaps directly onto Trapjaw's ship. A brutal fight breaks out between the two inside the aircraft. At the perfect moment, Duncan shoves a bomb into Trapjaw's mouth and immediately jumps out of the ship. A massive explosion erupts in the next instant, turning Trapjaw's warship into a blazing fireball. As soon as the battle is over, Duncan rushes straight to Roboto's side. He fears that he may have lost his friend forever, but after checking him carefully, he discovers that Roboto's core system is still intact. Seeing that, Duncan breathes a sigh of relief, knowing that his loyal companion is still alive. On the other side, inside Castle Grayskull, the battle between Adam and Skeletor reaches its absolute peak. Both warriors unleash every ounce of their power against each other. Then, in a devastating clash, the magical sword shatters into pieces, and Adam is thrown across the hall. Laughing triumphantly, Skeletor declares that without the sword, Adam is nothing, and that all of his power is gone forever. Suddenly, Adam finds himself trapped in a strange world. One moment he is back in his old gym, the next he is in the same restaurant, and then inside his office. In every place, Skeletor mocks him and tries to convince him that he has always been weak. At last, Adam appears in his own room, where he notices a mysterious bird. In that moment, he realizes it is not an ordinary bird at all, but the sorceress herself. Adam has completely lost hope. He says that the sword is broken, so everything is over now. But the sorceress smiles and tells him that the true power was never inside the sword. The sword was only a vessel. The real strength has always lived within his own heart. His humanity, courage, and compassion for others are what made him worthy of that power. That is why he was chosen. The moment Adam understands this truth, his courage returns. In the next instant, he awakens back in the real world. The shattered pieces of the sword begin joining together on their own, and the magical blade is restored completely. Adam speaks the sacred words once more and transforms into an even more powerful form than before. Seeing their hero return fills all of his companions with joy. For one final time, Adam tries to reason with Skeletor. He tells him that everything can still be changed, but Skeletor only laughs and replies that he enjoys being the villain. And with that, the final and most dangerous battle begins. This time, Adam fights not only with strength, but with wisdom. In the end, he destroys all of Skeletor's weapons and defeats him forever with one final devastating strike. Evil Lyn and Beastman flee for their lives. 6 months later, Eternia has been restored once again. Queen Marlena rules the kingdom once more, and all of the companions are reunited. Roboto has also been fully repaired. In a playful moment, Teela asks Adam what name he had chosen for her. Smiling, he answers, Warrior Goddess. Then, when she asks about his own name, he replies with a slight smile, He-Man. The rest of the team reacts with amused surprise. At that very moment, a new emergency message arrives. Everyone turns to look at Adam. He tries to make an excuse, but they all know that he is now their true hero. In the end, He-Man sets off on a brand new adventure alongside his brave companion Cringer, and that is where this incredible story comes to an end. So, what did you think of this movie? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories. See you in the next video.